So imagine this, right? You successfully pass the bar exam, you get out of school to become a lawyer, you marry your high school sweetheart, you start a large family with 5 children, and you go on to create a sector of YouTube that's very successful, focusing on law and some of the biggest cases of the decade. I mean, you're really riding high. But you take all of that, and you slam dunk it from half court, just utterly obliterating any legacy or career you possibly could have had in favor for polycules, Baldos, and a mountain of cocaine. Well, not a great idea, because realistically it only leads you to one place, and that's eventually facing some serious charges. Well, now it's pretty much to the point where it's gonna go poorly for him either way, but great for us. I guess I'll start from the beginning before I get to that, but I know that I normally don't make videos like this, but I'll be honest with you, this entire saga has been so hilarious to me, especially since I used to watch some of his higher profile trials back in the day and kind of just fell off. It's been a real ride to one day open up Twitter and just see his mugshot right there, front and center. So, thanks to Breaking Balldo News' exquisite coverage, this is very easy to document now, considering that we're 6 days away from his settlement hearing. So, it all begins here. Based upon statements made by Aaron M. Holte on the Steel Toe Morning Show, a YouTube radio podcast, an investigation by Kandiyohi County PD discovered a video uploaded by COG to his backup channel, Backwards Internet. COG had previously mirrored an exact copy of the infamous quote-unquote coke stream made days prior where Nicholas Rekieta acted highly erratically and appeared to have cocaine visibly under his nose. On the morning of May 23rd, 2024, Rekieta, our wife, Kayla, and girlfriend, April M. Holte, were all served with a warrant at Nick Rekieta's house. During the search, 28.8 grams of cocaine, ketamine, and an unknown quote-unquote brown substance was bagged alongside considerable drug paraphernalia. All were arrested and charged with various degrees of felony drug charges and misdemeanor illicit weapons and child neglect charges. During the arrest, salacious details were revealed, such as officers noting that, quote, the home was extremely cluttered, there were clothes everywhere, dirty dishes, dust, and an overall dirty home, unquote. And that, quote, Detective Pomplin noted several injuries to the arms of Nicholas Rekieta that appeared consistent with sores that are common with controlled substance users. Nick admitted, without counsel, that the bedroom where the drugs were found was his bedroom and made the false claim that April M. Holte was merely a visitor, which Nick himself has since discredited by admitting they were romantically involved and that she lived literally right next door. Nick represented himself at his arraignment and claimed to be the counsel for his wife Kayla and girlfriend April, and all were given bond and release. So, that was the start. As you can see here, very visible. I think it's pretty clear. It's definitely something, nothing to snub your nose at, no pun intended. Ever since this period, Nick has really been doing his best to jam up the court system. He's been trying to send in as many appeals as he possibly can. A lot of bullshit claims that just seem to be going nowhere. And it's finally gotten to the point where his last appeal before that final trial, where he has to plea whether he's innocent or guilty, has come through, and it has been denied. Major Breaking Balldo news. In the felony case of Rekieta Law, the interlocutory appeal for his motion to dismiss has been denied. He is now required to enter a plea next Tuesday. So, yeah, that pretty much means that Rekieta, come next Tuesday, so 6 days from the day of this recording, will have to plead whether he is innocent or guilty. And this is really the last step for him. This is the last straw before he's able to do anything. So here's the response from the state of Minnesota in the Court of Appeals. Petitioner Nicholas Robert Rekieta is charged with a second-degree controlled substance crime, unlawful possession of a firearm, and child endangerment based on evidence seized after a search warrant was executed at his residence. He filed to suppress the evidence and dismiss the charges, and he requested an evidentiary hearing under Franks v. Delaware to investigate whether the search warrant application contained material misrepresentations regarding a social media video, among other things. The district court denied petitioner's motion for a Franks hearing, and his a motion to suppress evidence and dismiss charges. Petitioner seeks discretionary review of the district court's order denying his motion for a Franks evidentiary hearing. Petitioner argues that this court should grant discretionary review in the interest of justice because the Franks issue is important and doubtful, and resolution of the issue would obviate the need for further proceedings. The state has not filed a response. So here, he's basically saying that that video that COG had initially released that we showed at the beginning, or that I read over at the beginning, was not accurate because it was a re-upload. They told him to pound sand. He's been fighting this ever since, and they didn't even bother filing a response in his most recent appeal. It must have been that bad. Apparently, according to people like Legal Mindset and the Kino Casino, it was horrible. It had to have been horrible to them just to not even file a response, just to tell him no. Tell him no outright. So that's not good at all. The criminal defendants generally do not have a right to appeal until final judgment has been entered, and they reference a few of them here. But this court may, quote, allow an appeal from an order not otherwise appealable, unquote, in the interest of justice. So that's what Nick Rekieta was trying to get at here, trying to say, oh, it's for justice that you would allow me to appeal this decision before it even fully goes through, which I think, to be honest, in his case is bullshit. He's just using this, like I said, to gum up the works and to try and create as much problems as he possibly can. So after everything, it basically gets to the point now where they tell him it is denied. The petition for a discretionary review is denied. So now, really, he does have to plead whether he's innocent or guilty come Tuesday. And the great thing about this, though, is that there's body cam footage of the arrest. Now, he's been going around saying, oh, the detectives were lying, the house wasn't dirty or wasn't that bad, they're making up all this stuff about how I acted, or, yada yada. They're going on and on. They're misrepresenting what I actually did or what actually happened. This could easily all be put to rest, of course, if he just, released the body cam footage. But he's not going to do that because that would prove him wrong. It would prove that he's a liar, allegedly. What can he do now? Well, he can plead innocent or guilty, and either way, the body cam footage is coming out one way or another. So this is honestly the best timeline. It is the best timeline here. I can't believe we're seeing this. He has no choice, and if he does decide to plead not guilty, he is almost certainly going to jail, because no jury in their right mind is going to read through the evidence present in this case and what he's actually done and take his side. Because more than likely, the people on the jury also aren't on cocaine. So they are not going to empathize with you or your plight. And it's made it even worse with all the other things happening on the side too. Because, that's like an entire essay that could be made, which, to be honest, the Kino Casino more or less already has done. So if you want to watch their stuff, I recommend it to get like the full picture of this, because it's insane. This whole thing is just insane. It keeps spiraling even further. And just when you think that this man can't get any worse, that he can't ruin his life even further and make an even worse decision, he does. He manages to do it. Beyond all belief. It's crazy. So, I guess the only real option for him now is to put the Baldos back on and just fully commit. I think Nick Rekieta should go fully not guilty, because if he goes guilty, the body cam footage comes out instantly, right? But if he says not guilty, there's at least a chance that it doesn't come out. So, I think that's the best course, really. Just go balls to the wall. go Baldo to the Waldo. Just do it. I'm really hoping for the best outcome here. I want this to drag out for years. I want to see this man try and argue his case before a jury and represent himself. And this is going to be great if that actually happens. So, again, I don't really make videos like this. At least I haven't in the past. But it's too interesting for me to avoid it. And I want more and more people to find out about this. But anyway, thank you especially to Breaking Balldo News, who's made this so easy to go through and to catalog and to watch and just to keep track of everything. That and, of course, the Kino Casino. So links will all be in the description. But Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one-off here. Subscribe if you liked it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens come Tuesday. I, for one, can't wait. Nick, Rekieta, and I, we're both Nicks. We share somewhat of a camaraderie here. I think that he's got this in the bag. He's innocent, clearly. Let's just let him go to court and figure this one all out, right?